MichaelTBosworth, Customer-Centric Selling. Get ready to revolutionize the way you approach sales with the summary of the book Customer-Centric Selling by MichaelTBosworth. Learn about the 7 core principles that will transform your sales approach, helping you converse authentically with your customers, ask relevant questions, solve their problems, and empower them in the decision-making processes. This summary will provide invaluable insights on the importance of understanding customer needs, focusing on product applications, and managing your sales process. All geared towards making you stand out from the traditional salespeople.
The Principles of Customer-Centric Selling. The book outlines 7 fundamental principles of customer-centric selling. First, instead of making presentations, engage in conversations. Second, focus on the customer's needs by asking questions instead of expressing opinions. Third, demonstrate how your product or service solves the customer's problem. Fourth, use a business-like approach to explain how your offering is the most valuable. Fifth, help the customer understand how to use your product or service. Sixth, manage up to sales managers by applying customer management techniques. Finally, empower the buyer with the power of choice. Effective customer-centric selling is not about manipulation or control, but about service and choice. Reinventing marketing. Contrary to popular belief, the sales force is responsible for product positioning rather than the marketing department. Marketing is often seen as an irrelevant appendage to many salespeople, resulting in a lack of communication between the two departments. Sales training usually only focuses on product and service features, with little emphasis on understanding the customer. This is problematic as the sales force is the primary connection with clients and the market. Rookie salespeople are often left to develop opinions on which customers belong in their pipeline and how to approach them. The customer should be the driving force of the sales process, and understanding their needs should be the foundation of everything the salesperson does. Therefore, the authors of the book suggest reinventing marketing efforts into customer usage marketing. This approach focuses on understanding the customer's experience and building a strategy around it, putting the customer at the forefront of all marketing and sales decisions. Selling to the mainstream. Companies often falter when selling to mainstream buyers. They require a different approach than early adopters. Mainstream buyers want convenience without risk and need sales-ready messages. Only a small percentage of salespeople are naturals and understand how to listen to customers and empower them. Companies must change their ways to sell successfully to the mainstream. The book explains why companies that have sold successfully to early adopters struggle when selling to the mainstream. Early success could be due to anointing by early adopters or a price advantage. However, to succeed in the mainstream market, companies need to change their sales approach. The content states that successful selling involves conducting a series of conversations with customers. Mainstream customers differ from early adopters in their preferences and requirements. They want products that are easy to use and install without any hassle. Unlike early adopters, they are not infatuated with technology and require convenience without risk. The book suggests that only a small percentage of salespeople have natural abilities to understand customers and empower them. Companies need to train the rest to communicate sales-ready messages instead of only product messages. In conclusion, the book explains how companies can transform their sales approach to succeed in the mainstream market. Companies need to put the interests of customers first and sell products that are easy to use and install. Salespeople need to be trained to understand customers and empowered to communicate sales-ready messages. Practical tips for customer-centric sales. To attain customer-centric sales, the book offers practical tips such as understanding the customer's problem, being sincere, and treating the customer as the decision-maker. Maintain the value of your product and only offer discounts as a quid pro quo. Discover prospects' goals and lead them to self-convince why they need the product by highlighting customer-relevant grounds. Additionally, build relationships with peers and customers, understand that buyers decide if their problems are solved, and use emotions to make logical decisions. Finally, don't rush customers at any point and wait for the right time to close the deal. Revamp your sales strategy. Establish a customer-centric sales process for better results. To succeed in today's market, offering opinions won't cut it. Asking relevant questions is what sets customer-centric salespeople apart. The key to a successful customer-centric sales process lies in understanding the customer's buying journey, identifying steps, building awareness, and helping buyers understand how your product or service can help them meet their objectives. Clear milestones should be established for each stage of the sales process to avoid wasting time on pointless requests for proposals, RFPs. The customer-centric sales process starts with figuring out the customer's buying cycle and the steps leading to product recommendations. Building awareness and helping buyers understand their needs is the next step. Followed by helping buyers realize how your product or service will solve their problems, and estimate the date when the buyer confirms an agreement. Finally, a mechanism should be in place to adjust to sudden changes in timing, shifts in the competitive scene, or new information from the prospect. By adhering to a customer-centric sales process, a firm can avoid wasting time on wired RFPs that will never bear fruit. The success of a customer-centric sales process lies in asking relevant questions, identifying clear milestones, and focusing on providing value to the customer. Sales and marketing integration. Sales and marketing departments should work together to gather customer and market information. These departments rarely communicate, but they need to cooperate. Marketing should focus on what customers can do with a product, not just features. Salespeople should have in-depth conversations with customers to gather intelligence that shapes marketing messages. Additionally, sales calls with senior executives typically last less than 30 minutes, emphasizing the importance of crafting compelling messages. Productive sales conversations. Good sales conversations result from asking the right questions and focusing on the customer's needs. Salespeople should spend their time wisely by engaging with decision-makers who have the authority to budget for change. They should identify the prospect's title, function, problem, or business challenge before proposing solutions. Integrating sales processes with marketing processes can generate top-line revenue, and organizations can improve relationships with their customers. Customer-centric salespeople need minimal coaching and should ask questions that allow customers to see their needs more clearly. To build product demand, generate leads, and craft a sales message, marketing departments must influence decision-makers who have not yet decided to change vendors. They can use various media such as brochures, trade shows, and websites. This book summary focuses on the importance of productive sales conversations that result from asking the right questions and focusing on the customer's needs. The author advises that salespeople should spend their time wisely by engaging with decision-makers who have the authority to budget for change and to identify the prospect's title, function, problem, or business challenge before proposing solutions. The author also emphasizes the benefits of integrating sales processes with marketing processes, which can generate top-line revenue and improve customer relationships. To achieve success in sales, salespeople need minimal coaching and should ask questions that allow customers to see their needs more clearly. On the other hand, marketing departments play a crucial role in building product demand, generating leads, and crafting a sales message by influencing decision-makers who have not yet decided to change vendors. Winning with customer-centric selling. Learn how to win over every buyer by adopting a customer-centric sales approach that highlights the needs of each buyer. In customer-centric selling, salespeople are encouraged to prioritize understanding the unique needs and preferences of potential buyers over using a standardized sales pitch. This approach involves asking rather than telling and encourages salespeople to qualify potential buyers by identifying key players, including coaches, champions, deciders, financial authorities, end users and managers, transition leaders, and adversaries. Sales teams must engage with all of these consumer groups, especially adversaries, who may oppose change or favor a competing vendor. By evangelizing and converting even the hardest to win over buyers, sales teams can gain a negotiating advantage and strike an informed, reasonable posture. The key is to never give ground without getting something in return and to be prepared to walk away if necessary. However, by adopting a customer-centric sales approach that emphasizes real needs instead of a pre-written script, salespeople will be able to build strong relationships with potential buyers and win their business.
In conclusion, customer-centric selling highlights the importance of shifting the sales approach from being product-driven to customer-driven. The 7 core principles of customer-centric selling emphasize the power of asking questions, understanding customer needs, and providing solutions tailored to their unique issues. By employing this approach, salespeople can establish long-lasting relationships and better satisfy their customers' needs. For businesses, harnessing valuable insights from salespeople's customer interactions can lead to improvement in marketing strategies and overall customer relations, thus driving their top-line revenue growth.